G'day so-and-sos and welcome to my sewing room. My name is Cathy and I have a great beginner easy project for you today. We're going to be making dog bandanas. So these dog bandanas don't even have a pattern. It's just one piece of fabric, nice and easy to do, and I'll have instructions up for several different sizes. This is for little dogs. This is for medium dogs, like maybe border collie size. And then Elvis, my dog, is wearing his, which is an extra large. But they are so simple, so easy, and you'll have something really good at the end that would make great gifts, or you could sell them at markets if you wanted to. So let's get cracking. So here we have everything we need to make our dog bandana. I have some fabric, an acrylic ruler, scissors, a rotary cutter, clips, and some interfacing. Now, if you've never used interfacing before, don't panic. It's really easy, and this stuff is also really cheap. I have a tutorial up that you can go over and have a watch and learn how to do it. But if you don't want to do it today, if it's all just too much, don't worry about it. Just leave it out. It'll be okay. I'm using it just to give a little bit more durability and a little bit of form, structure, strength to my fabric. But I have, on the other hand, also chosen a really good cotton woven fabric. So if you do the same, you'll live without that. But it is a good skill to have. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and show you this fabric. Now, it's for my dog Elvis, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you might have seen a picture of Elvis. He's a big boy. So I've cut out a square, 14 inches by 14 inches. I'll put up some other measurements for large, medium, small dogs. But yeah, this one's quite big, but it will be a square, which is really simple. I'm going to go over and cut out my interfacing and iron it on, and I will be right back. Now we have our interfacing on. What we're going to do next is go corner to corner into a triangle. We're going to press that down just to give us a guideline to work off. Then we're going to open up and we're going to go from our corners and measure 2.5 inches in. You can see I've already done that and given myself a bit of a mark there. Take that, find your 2.25 inch mark and fold it over. We're going to go to the sewing machine, to the ironing board now, and just iron those corners down. I'll be back. There we go. Now you'll notice when I've done this, I've made sure this corner is lined up right with that center press mark that I did. So we know that it's even, it's nice and neat. What we're going to do now is go over to the sewing machine and we are just going to stitch about 1/4 inch in from this line all the way down across here on both sides. Start right on that end, about 1/8 inch in, a couple of stitches and then back stitch. Want to always back stitch at the beginning and the end so that it locks it in place and we don't have it coming undone. Other side. Back stitch. There we go. Back to the table. So this is what your work should look like. We've just got those 2 corners taken off there. What we're going to do now is fold it over this way. So corner to corner, making sure that our edges line up really nicely. If they don't, just say you've folded this over and you found that you've got your bottom pieces hanging out a little bit. Just get your ruler. Where's my ruler? On the floor. Get your ruler and your rotary cutter and just take it off, just so everything lines up nice and neatly. Or you can use scissors if you don't have a rotary cutter. So what we're going to do is go back to our machine And we are just going to sew these edges together at about 1/4 inch seam. This is by far the easiest way to make one of these bandanas because there's so much less hem work. So we're going to start from this corner, go down to the point, start from that side and back up to this corner. Make sure you don't go over this bit because that is where our collar is going to go. Okay, starting in about 1/4 inch this time. Now I've showed you this in one of my other tutorials. It is called That Purple Thing, and it has a 1/4 inch mark at the top, which I really love. You'd think I have shares in the company or something. I really like it because I can measure at my work, my seam, and it's just really handy. A couple of stitches forward and then back, taking our clips off as we go, right down to the very end. Okay, I'm going to go backwards a little bit there, get to that corner, turn my work, keeping my needle in my work, and back up this side. Get to the top, slow down, back stitch, back to the table. Okay, we're going to get rid of these loose threads. Just tidy everything up a little bit. Keep it nice and neat. Even though we're going to turn it inside out, it doesn't matter. It's good practice. So what we're going to do now is to turn our bandana out the right way. And we're almost finished. This is such a quick, easy, fun little project that you have something really quite good and cute at the end. So if you've come this far, you should be proud of yourself. If you're liking my video, please give me a like and a subscribe, and that way you can find the other tutorials that I've done, like the one on interfacing. I've done a couple of other cute, quick little beginner projects as well as some beginner items that you'll need when you first start off sewing. One of them being, if I can find one, I've got them everywhere. This is the same as the purple one that I just showed you over at my machine. It's just really good. I want to get down into that bottom corner and poke it all the way out. There we go. Just push those seams out a little bit. Tuck that back in. That's looking really good. So what I'm going to do is take it back over to my iron. Give it a good press. Press these seams down. And then once it's all ironed, we're going to go back over to the machine and we're going to top stitch. And we're going to start from this corner, same as what we did before. This corner down here and back up to that one. Then we're going to sew from here across to there. What that will do is help all these seams sit flat. It'll look nicer, it'll look finished and a little bit decorative as well. So let's do that. So I'm going to start with my needle in my work. And because I'm top stitching, what I'm going to do is lengthen my stitch a little bit more. When we top stitch, it looks prettier, nicer, neater if we lengthen that stitch a little bit. But I'm still going to do a couple of stitches and then a couple back just to make sure that's locked in. I'm going about 1/4 inch again, or probably a bit less, maybe about 1/8 inch. And off we go. Trying to keep it even as I go down. Nice and neat. Checking it, that's looking good. Now I don't want to go all the way to the corner because I want it to be one continuous bit. So I'm going to use my purple thing just so I don't get my fingers near that. One more stitch, turn it around and back up this side. It looks so much better even after you just iron it and iron all those seams flat. It just looks pretty and finished right up to that corner and across. Now I am going to go across this bit where the collar will sit up in this bit. I'm going to go across here. If you didn't want to, I guess you wouldn't have to, but it is sort of good just to create that casing where that's going to go. Now, because this is quite a wide seam, I'm going to use a magnetic guide there just so I don't start doing this. So I keep it even all the way across, and fingers crossed I finish on the opposite side of that casing we've made for the collar. So when I'm sewing, I'm not looking at my needle. I'm actually looking here right now. I'm not looking at my needle at all. If you try and watch your needle, you're just going to make yourself dizzy and you're going to go wonky. So it's good to watch the edge of where you're sewing or just ahead of it. And we're finished right on that corner. There we go. Let's go back over to the table and have a look, and then we'll have a look at it on Elvis. There we go. There is our finished dog bandana.